Hey guys, glad you stumbled upon this video. We're not going to waste any time. We're going to jump right on in. Imagine showing up to a funeral and the person in the casket starts moving. Sounds like a scene from a horror movie, right? But believe it or not, this has actually happened more than once. From people waking up in morgues to gasping for air inside body bags, these real-life stories are as terrifying as they are unbelievable. Let's get into 5 chilling cases of people waking up after being declared dead. Kicking things off with number 1, we have Bella Montoya out of Ecuador. In 2023, Bella Montoya, a 76-year-old woman from Babahoyo, Ecuador, was presumed dead after suffering what appeared to be a stroke. The doctor who attended to her declared her dead, and her family was notified. Bella's body was placed in a coffin, and her family began preparing for the funeral. They arranged a vigil at the funeral home and were just hours away from her burial. However, nearly 5 hours later, as relatives were preparing her for her funeral attire, they were shocked when Bella suddenly gasped for air. A mourner quickly filmed the moment, showing Bella lying in the coffin, struggling to breathe. Her family called for an ambulance, but it took several minutes for help to arrive. When paramedics and firefighters finally reached Bella, they quickly transported her back to the hospital. Although she had been declared dead, she was very much alive, and doctors were left stunned by the turn of events. Bella was monitored closely for a while after her return to the hospital, and though the incident sparked outrage, there were no immediate reports of legal action being taken against the doctors who had declared her dead. Bella's case went viral, leaving many questioning how such an alarming mistake could happen and highlighting the critical importance of proper procedures when determining life and death. Second on the list is an unnamed woman from Nebraska. We will leave her name out of it for privacy's sake. Anyway, she was a 74-year-old hospice patient at the Mulberry Nursing Home in the Lincoln suburb of Waverly who had declared her dead at 9:44 in the morning. It's not clear how staff came to the conclusion she had died. A coroner was not called to confirm her death due to it being outside the parameters the office could be called. She was then transported to the Bucharest Master and Love Funeral Home. It's not clear how many people saw this woman between when she was declared dead and when she was found breathing, but as they were preparing her for funeral arrangements, a staff member from the home had noticed she was still breathing. At 11:43 that same morning, Lincoln Fire and Rescue was called to the funeral home and told that CPR was being done on a 74-year-old woman, and she was then transported to an area hospital. Next, we have Thomas T.J. Hoover II from Kentucky. In October 2021, Thomas T.J. Hoover, 36 years old, was admitted to Baptist Health Richmond Hospital due to a cardiac arrest following a drug overdose. He was an organ donor, and because he was declared brain dead, the hospitals began preparations to harvest his organs. About an hour after Hoover had been brought into surgery for his organs to be retrieved, a doctor came out and explained that he wasn't ready and that he had woke up. He made several attempts to say, "Hey, I'm here," but it was ignored the first few times. But after a while, they finally stopped the procedure because he was showing too many signs of life. For number 4, we're coming in with Janina Kolkiewicz from Poland. In 2014, a Polish doctor pronounced that a 91-year-old woman had died. She said she checked for a pulse on a forearm and neck arteries, listened for a heartbeat and the sound of breathing, and checked the pupils for reaction to light, but found none. She was sure that the patient was dead. 2 hours after she was pronounced dead, the woman was taken to the morgue. Her death certificate was issued, and she was placed in the mortuary cold storage. Shortly before midnight, an undertaker who brought in another body noticed that Kolkiewicz was moving inside a bag she had been placed in. Once it was opened, she complained of being cold and asked for hot tea. She was then taken home. Prosecutors investigated whether the patient's life and health were endangered by the inaccurate death diagnosis. They also got the regional court to void the death certificate that local authorities issued, which discontinued Kolkiewicz's benefits such as her pension. Last but certainly not least, Rohitash Kumar, a 25-year-old from Junshanu, Rajasthan, was initially declared dead by doctors after experiencing a seizure at BDK Hospital. Upon arrival, the hospital staff believed that the young man had passed away due to the severity of his seizure, with no vital signs detected. His family, in distress, made arrangements for his funeral, and his body was placed in a mortuary, awaiting cremation. After several hours, Kumar was taken to the cremation ground, where preparations for the ritual were underway. However, just moments before the pyre was set light, Kumar shockingly showed signs of life, gasping and moving, stunning the attendees and his family. Once revived, Kumar was rushed back to the hospital, where he was admitted to the intensive care unit for further care. His family, who had already prepared to bid farewell to him, were left in disbelief and profound relief. Following the incident, an investigation was launched, and the 3 doctors involved in prematurely declaring him dead were suspended pending further investigation into their actions. So, there it is. 5 crazy cases where people were declared dead only to come back to life in the most unbelievable ways. It's honestly mind-blowing to think about the close calls of being buried alive. The thought that in some cases, people were only moments away from a tragic, irreversible fate is beyond terrifying. It really puts into perspective how fragile life can be, and how something as simple as a mistake or misdiagnosis can alter everything in an instant. The very idea that this has happened more than once is a chilling reminder of just how delicate our existence truly is.